pinalakas na pagbabalita, komentaryong walang mintis, iba't ibang entertainment. Radyo natin to! Radyo natin to!
This is Newsline Weekend on Radyo natin to 103.5 News FM. I'm Raymond Kaibigan in the headlines. Lava flow from Mayon volcano reaches maximum length according to the PHIVOX. Oil price rollback seen next week. Chinese Navy ship tails challenges Philippine vessel near Pag-asa Island. The DOF says contributions to uniform personal pension set at 5% to 9%. The CHR probes killings of former his family in Negros Occidental. The DFAR says fish production in West Philippine Sea could increase if there's no hindering factors. The OCD proposes turning Mayon's danger zone into natural park. And the PCG says oil removal in sunken empty Empress is done. The details. Lava flow from Mayon volcano reaches maximum length according to the PHIVOX. The lava flow from Mayon volcano reached a maximum length of 1.5 kilometers from the crater, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOX, reported on Sunday. According to PHIVOX, the very slow effusion of lava from the summit crater was seen along the Misi South and Bonga Southeastern in the past 24 hours. Debris were dumped 3.3 kilometers from the crater. State volcanologists also logged 3 volcanic earthquakes, 11 dome collapse pyroclastic density currents lasting 2 to 6 minutes, and 274 rockfall events at Mayon plumes with a height of 100 meters also recorded. PHIVOX added that Mayon emitted an average of 1,004 tons per day of sulfur dioxide on Saturday. The volcano is still inflated, especially in the northwest and southeast portions. The alert level of Mayon was raised to level 3 on June 8 as it showed signs of magmatic or intensified unrest. A day after the local government of Albay placed the province under a state of calamity. Authorities are expecting Mayon's unrest to last for months. A total of 20,119 residents have been evacuated in anticipation of Mayon's hazardous eruption, the latest data of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council showed. Meanwhile, oil price hike rollback seen next week. Fuel prices are expected to go down next week. Petroleum Philippines said yesterday, Saturday, the oil price adjustments are forecasted to be effective from June 20 to 26. The price of diesel may decrease from 5 centavos to 15 centavos per liter, while the cost of gasoline is expected to decline by 30 centavos to 40 centavos. The fuel price monitoring of the Department of Energy showed that the modification of fuel prices is caused by the year-to-date net decrease for diesel at 3.95 pesos per liter and kerosene at 6 pesos and 5 centavos per liter. Gasoline, meanwhile, had a net increase of 6 pesos and 70 centavos per liter. On June 13, oil companies enforced a per liter increase of 1 peso and 20 centavos for gasoline and 1 peso and 30 centavos for kerosene. In other news, Chinese Navy ship tails challenges the Philippine vessel near Pag-asa Island. A Navy ship tailed and challenged the BRP Francisco Dagohoy in the vicinity of Pag-asa Island in the West Philippine Sea on Friday, the Philippine Coast Guard said on Saturday. The Filipino patrol vessel operated by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources was leaving Pag-asa after delivering boats, fishing gear, and other items as part of its livelihood assistance program to Kalayaan Town when those aboard, including journalists, noticed the Chinese Navy vessel. Nung nakadikit na sa Palawan yung mga tao, nag-report na sila ng biglang nagpakita ang isang Chinese Navy, hindi Coast Guard sa likuran nila, PCG spokesperson Armand Balilo said. It was close. I can't say how many yards, but the ship was not detected on radar because it seems like they turned off their AIS, but it followed them and challenged them 3 times. The PCG said the Chinese Navy ship left after the Filipino vessel responded to its challenge. The engagement kasi doon, sinagot lang naman nila yung challenge at sinabi lang na nandito lang sila para sa ating sovereign patrol, pero pagkatapos noon ay kumalas na rin ang Chinese Navy, hindi na sila sumunod, baka bumalik na sa puerto. Balilo refused to comment on the implications of the Chinese Navy ship challenging a Filipino vessel. Meanwhile, the DOF says contributions to uniformed personal pension set at 5% to 9%. The Department of Finance wants military and uniformed personnel in active service to contribute 5% of their monthly salary to the retirement fund for the first 3 years of the proposed pension system. The DOF also wants new entrants to the uniformed services to contribute 9% of their basic salary and longevity pay to the retirement fund. The agency explained its proposal in a statement released by a technical working group on Friday. The DWG helps the Marcos administration draft a pension reform for the MUP. The DWG also said it is proposing that the government supplement the MUP contribution so that the monthly premium would total 21%, which is the same for other government employees. For the first 3 years, a 5% contribution of the MUPs in active service will be supplemented by the government with a 16% share to fulfill the 21% total monthly premium for the trust fund. This sharing scheme shall be adjusted until a 9% to 12% contribution ratio is reached on the 7th year, the DOF explained. Meanwhile, new entrants shall contribute 9% of their base and longevity pay with a corresponding 12% from the government, it added. Other government employees who may retire at the age of 60 but must retire at the age of 65 contribute 9% of their monthly pay, while the state supplements it with 12% for a total of 21% monthly premium. On the other hand, the SSS members who retire at the age of 60 contribute 4.5% of their monthly pay, while their employers supplement it with 9.5%. Since the MUP retire at the age of 57, they enjoy their pension longer than other employees. The MUP pension covers retirees from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, the Bureau of Fire Protection, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, the Bureau of Corrections, the Philippine Coast Guard, and the Philippine Public Safety College. The computation for the proposed contribution of MUP will be based on data from the updated actuarial study of the Government Service Insurance System, which will be released very soon. Meanwhile, Financial Secretary Benjamin Jokno has warned that a fiscal collapse will happen if the MUP pension will continue to be funded by taxpayers' money and government borrowings. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has supported the proposal to reform the MUP pension system and urged the government to establish the most strategic mechanism that will enable the system to survive in the long run. In other news, the CHR probes killings of farmer and his family in Negros Occidental. The Commission on Human Rights, Regional 6, has launched an investigation into the killing of former Rolly Fausto, his wife Imelda, and their 2 children in Negros Occidental. On June 14, Rolly was found dead near their hut, while the lifeless bodies of his wife and children were discovered inside. Rolly and Imelda were members of the Baclayan Bito Cabagal Farmers and Farm Workers Association. All possible angles will be pursued in the course of CHR's independent investigation, the agency said Saturday in a statement. Rights group Karapatan said the couple were allegedly harassed by the armed forces of the Philippines months prior to the killings. In separate occasions, the AFP allegedly interrogated Rolly and Imelda and searched their house unauthorized. Rolly was also reported to have been physically assaulted and was forced to confess that he is a member of the New People's Army, Karapatan said. In a text message, AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar said they have yet to receive a report on the AFP's involvement in the alleged harassment. Aguilar also said the CHR has yet to reach out to the AFP regarding the investigation. Karapatan also urged Congress to investigate the case of the slain Fausto family. While investigations on the murder of former Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo are ongoing, numerous cases involving peasants and farm workers in Negros are left unaddressed. Karapatan Secretary General Cristina Palabay said Friday in a statement, "It is a pity that ordinary folks' lives are seen as unimportant in the eyes of our legislators," she added. Coming up next on Newsline Weekend. The VFAR says fish production in the West Philippine Sea could increase if there is no hindering factor. The OCD proposes turning Mayon's danger zone into national park. And the PCG says oil removal in sunken empty Princess Empress already done. More news coming your way when Newsline Weekend returns. Keep it here on Radyo Natin to 103.5 News FM.
Maylin. Hapon na mukhang fresh ka pa din. Ay, baho lang ng anit.
Mabahong anit? Mag-new Head & Shoulders every day. Para kahit malapit, fresh ang anit.
Maylin, fresh ka na sa hapon man o sa malapitan.
New Head & Shoulders for 100% dandruff-free hair. No visible flakes with regular use.
Hello, Washi! Laundry day na naman!
Yay! Anong meron?
Mancha ng chocolate, putik, may libag pa.
Kaya natin yan! With Pride Washing Machine Detergent, may triple stain-away formula. Tanggal ang makapit, madikit, at madupis na tunog mancha. Kaya easy-easy ang lavada.
Mula noon, hanggang ngayon!
All you need is pride. All you need is pride.
ACS.
Kahit na everyone, iwan ang distraction. Magic ang kailan. Mag-focus sa moment with friends. Sarap ng sama-samang may plato. Dala ng Coca-Cola, tawanan at kwento. Walang maiiwan sa bonding. Buwas lang ang puso, Coca-Cola at kanin. Kahit na
Every day sa bahay daming activities. Kaya breakfast pa lang, give them champion energy.
Milo breakfast every day. Milo breakfast every day.
Help start your day with a balanced diet, healthy lifestyle, and an energized, nutritious breakfast with Milo. May winning combination of milk, champion energy nutrients, at chocolate sarap.
Milo breakfast every day. Milo breakfast every day. Healthy jump start your day. Milo every day.
Dalawa, tatlo,
Sinong mananalo?
apat, lima, anim.
I-fix na natin.
Fix Vicks Vapor Rub. Bibigay ginhawa mula sa ari na sintomas ng sipon.
Mabuti ng pakiramdam. Vicks Vapor Rub is available in Pure Gold stores nationwide. Visit your nearest branch now. I-Vicks na natin. Mabuti ng pakiramdam. Camphor Plus Menthol Plus Eucalyptus Oil is the generic name of Vicks Vapor Rub. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Ngayon, everything starts from the home. Stay at home, work from home, school from home. Buti na lang, lagi namin kasama ang sarap na at home sa aking pamilya. Gardenia.
Dahil ang gardenia bread, laging masarap, mabango, malambot, masustansya, at freshly baked every day.
Kaya kami mag-anak, ngayong stay at home, laging may gardenia sa bahay. Tara, let's bagets! Gardenia time!
Gardenia, laging kasama. Sa mga millennials at young at heart, bagay na bagay sa inyo ang MX3 Plus. May CoQ10 at may L-carnitine. Sabayan pa ng workout at healthy diet. Kayang ma-achieve ang good health. Mag MX3 Plus araw-araw para M-Extraordinary. Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kapag kintab ng sahig ang pag-uusapan, dito na tayo sa number 1. Star Wax Floor Wax. Kintab ay to the max.
Kahit malinis ng sahig, kumending tayo mga misis. Kapag utap na pag-usapan, dito na tayo sa number 1. Mag-Star Wax Wax, Star Wax Wax. Yan ang kintab na to the max, max, max.
Star Wax ang number 1 floor wax. May waterproof formula. Bukusan mo ng tubig, balikintaw ang sahig.
Star Wax Wax, Star Wax Wax.
Star Wax, di away ka!
Star Wax ang number 1 kintab na to the max.
Star Wax ang number 1 floor wax. Gawa ng ACS.
You're still tuned in to Radyo Natin To Newsline Weekend. I'm Raymond Kaibigan. The beaver says fish production in the West Philippine Sea could increase if there's no hindering factor. Fish production in the West Philippine Sea could increase if there is no hindering factor in the disputed waters, according to an official of the Bureau of the Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Citing government data, BFAR spokesperson Nas Briguera said in a forum on Saturday that the fish production in the WPS contributed 6% to the total volume in 2022. Reporters asked Briguera if the fish production in the West Philippine Sea could have been higher if not for Chinese incursions in the contested waters. Between 2021 to 2022, nagkaroon ng pag-slide down yung production sa West Philippine area. Tinatanong ako saan ba attributed yun. They are journalists trying to get that perspective na parang it's actually a result of the issues happening in the West Philippine Sea in terms of the geopolitical situation, he said. Briguera explained that while there is no direct attribution to that particular data, as the production level could be due to bad weather, it is possible that fish production in WPS could increase if there is no geopolitical issue. Now, going back to your question na posible ba na tumaas ang production ng WPS kung wala ang mga isyong ito na mangyayari doon, I would say yes, the BFAR official said. Citing a 2019 report from the University of the Philippines Marine Science Institute, Briguera said the country is losing around 33 billion pesos yearly due to damaged ecosystem in waters of Panatag Shoal and Spratly Islands because of China's reclamation activities in the area. China has been rejecting the 2016 arbitral ruling in The Hague, which invalidated its sweeping claims over the South China Sea. Meanwhile, the OCD proposes turning Mayon's danger zone into natural park. The Office of the Civil Defense on Saturday proposed turning Mayon Volcano's 6-kilometer radius permanent danger zone into a natural park. The OCD said discussions on the feasibility of the proposed development project are ongoing. More than 20,000 individuals living within the permanent danger zone have already been evacuated due to Mayon's eruption. OCD Administrator Ariel Nepomuceno said the danger zone should not have inhabitants in the first place. If the proposal materializes, the OCD said it would lessen the burden of evacuating residents and would help the local and national governments manage disaster and relief funds. Nakakapagod din talaga, tanggapin natin na pag nag-evacuate, pag papakain natin sila, nadidisrupt yung pag-aaral nila. Madidrain yung resources ng mga barangay ng munisipyo, ng national government, Nepomuceno pointed out. The OCD said local government units affected by Mayon's unrest back the proposal. And the PCG report says oil removal in sunken empty Princess Empress already done. The remaining oil in the cargo tanks of empty Princess Empress has been siphoned off, marking the completion of oil removal operations of authorities in the massive oil spill that hit waters of Oriental Mindoro. The final inspection was conducted on Friday, but the announcement was made by the Philippine Coast Guard the next day. Based on the ROV or remote operating vehicle, live videos, all 8 cargo oil tanks were now empty, and the only remaining observations were oil drips from the cargo piping line, the PCG said. During the inspection and briefing, the Malayan Towage and Salvage Corporation assured the PCG of completing the oil removal and recovery operations by showing all 8 cargo oil tanks and the ship's operational tank with no trace of oil, it added. Vice Admiral Robert Patrimonio, the PCG's Marine Environmental Protection Commander, along with the incident management team, led the inspection aboard the diving support vessel, Fire Opal. Officials from the Environment and Science and Technology Departments, Office of Civil Defense, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, and Oriental Mindoro government were also present. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. earlier said he wanted the completion of the oil spill response in 4 months. The empty Princess Empress, owned by RDC Real Marine Services Incorporated, sank in the waters off Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro on February 28 after sailing off from Bataan en route to Iloilo. It was carrying 900,000 liters of industrial fuel oil. Slicks have reached the coast of Palawan, Antique, and even Verde Island, which has been described as being at the heart of the global center of marine biodiversity. The marine disaster affected 200,000 local in Mimaropa, Calabarzon, and Western Visayas, disrupting the livelihood of 24,700 fisher folks for months. The latest data from the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council showed. Disaster management officials said the oil spill cost nearly 5 billion pesos worth of agriculture damage. Once the oil spill has been permanently contained and terminated, the Environment Department is expected to report the actual value of the damage to vulnerable habitats such as mangrove areas, seagrass beds, and coral reefs. In April, it pegged the possible amount at 7 billion pesos. In early June, the Department of Justice said it received criminal complaints against 35 respondents from the Maritime Industry Authority or Marina, the PCG, and the RDC. The accusations included falsification of public documents, use of falsified documents, and perjury. A quick roundup of tonight's headlines. Lava flow from Mayon volcano reaches maximum length according to PHIVOX. Oil price rollback seen next week. Chinese Navy ship sails challenges Philippine vessel near Pag-asa Island. The DOF says contributions to refund personnel pension set at 5% to 9%. The CHR probes killings of farmer and his family in Negros Occidental. The B4 says fish production in the West Philippine Sea could increase if there's no hindering factor. Office of the Civil Defense proposes turning Mayon's danger zone into a natural park. And the PCG reported oil removal in sunken empty Princess Empress already done. And those are the stories making headlines today, June 18, 2022. For Newsline Weekend, I'm Raymond Kaibigan. Keep it here on Radyo Natin to 103.5 News FM. Good evening.
Mas pinalakas na pagbabalita, komentaryong walang mintis, iba't ibang entertainment. Radyo natin to!